Hello and welcome to another Terry's Trading Tips. I'll tell you what I've been up to today. So I I've been invested in Beyond Meat for the last couple of days. Historically, I'd say that I'm more of a long-term investor. You're going to make money much more easily if you put your money in a good company and leave it there for years. But there's so much volatility in the markets at the moment. It's possible, if you're lucky and you know when to buy and when to sell, you can actually make quite a bit of money. So on a daily basis. So I bought into Beyond Meat the other day because they were on a really big rally because had just done a deal with a Chinese firm to sell their Beyond Meat products there, and they went up 20%. And I bought them near the end of the rally, and I made a little bit of money. And then the next day they dropped down, and I lost quite a lot of money. Well, you never lost it until you've sold. So I don't sell until I've made the money. Try not to make a loss, unless it's the end of the world or something like that, and you just need to get out. But I didn't. I held, and then I noticed they got quite high today at the beginning of trading. Stocks always seem to go up a little bit at the beginning of the day, and then they kind of drop down a bit. There's a bit of a pattern there. But by the way, these are just my opinions, my observations. It's not advice that you should take and try out and then lose money with. It's not my fault. You have to do your own research and see how you feel. But this is my experiences. So they were quite high at the beginning of the day. So I sold them when I thought, I've made quite a good profit. And then all the stocks, like I said, they always seem to dip a bit, and then they kind of go up a bit. And I sort of noticed that most of the stocks in social media had kind of dipped a bit, and so I bought into Snapchat, and then Snapchat went up, and it got to about $21. I'm not sure where it is right now. It's still at $21. And I thought, well, I've made a bit of profit. I'm going to sell now, and then I've got the money there, and just see what happens. And like I said, there's a lot of volatility in the market day to day. Tomorrow the markets could be a lot less, which brings me on to my next point. Tonight at about 7:30 p.m. English time, or 2:30 p.m. ET time, which is American time, I think, in New York, the Federal Reserve will do an announcement about the economic state of the world. This could be really good. They could show some great figures, or they could show some really bad figures showing that we're in a prolonged recession, and that will negatively impact the stock market. So I would say watch that and pay attention to it. Do your research. Perhaps maybe not even hold your stocks, and just in case it's really bad. These announcements really matter. For example, last week, the Institute of Labour Statistics on Friday, they announced like an incredible increase in employment in America. Like, it was a complete surprise, and about I can't remember what the figures were, but it was a total surprise, and there were about 2.5 million new jobs. So unemployment had dropped a lot because the economy was picking up and people were going back to work. And this had a crazy effect on the stock market, especially on the stocks like American Airlines, and the ones that have really suffered a lot during this crisis. And American Airlines went up. At one point, they were up 80%. Over the whole week, they were up 80%. But then this week, they've dropped back down. In fact, I told my friend to invest in them, and then they've just been dropping down this week as well. But fortunately, he didn't have that much money in it, hopefully, and so you have to be careful. But airline stocks and a lot of the stocks that have lost value are worth keeping an eye on. And there are real opportunities there to make a bit of extra cash. So that's my tip for you today. Other things that I was looking at with my friends were a company called Metro Bank. They're a UK company. Since a couple of days ago, they've gone up like 30%. I'm very cautious about investing in companies that I don't understand. But if you want to take a risk on a company like that, and you get into a good rally, maybe you can make a lot of money. But really, my advice to you would be to look at businesses, understand what they're selling, understand their financials, or at least get a good idea. It's very difficult to understand financials of a company and invest in them. For example, Beyond Meat, I really understand what they're selling. I know that they've been doing really well. I know that they've been selling a lot of their products. And so the future for them looks really good. And so even if I invested in Beyond Meat and the stock price really went down a lot, I'd still feel comfortable about holding in them and waiting till it went back up because they're a good business. Whereas a lot of the stocks at the moment, like I said, airlines and things, it's all a guessing game really. So that's another tip for you. Um, I was talking to my friend about one company yesterday called Immuron, and yesterday they went up by like 1,000%. Um, if you Google top gaining stocks every day, you can see that every day there are a lot of stocks that go up a lot, maybe 100%, sometimes 600%. It's totally random and unpredictable and very, very, very risky. But I wouldn't advise investing in them. I put $100 into Immuron yesterday just to see what would happen, just to see if it would go up another 1,000%, but it hasn't. It's down 50%. So I've lost $50, but it's not the end of the world. So that's my Terry's trading tips for you today. Watch out for the Federal Reserve announcement tonight at 7:30, and take care.